Hi there. Welcome to another episode of the Kessler Law Firm podcast. I'm your host, Michael Kessler, and I've been a defense attorney on Florida's Treasure Coast and around the state for going on 40 years. On this episode, I want to begin a conversation about one of my more recent cases, following it every step of the way from the decision by the Port St. Lucie police to file a charge all the way through arrest, pre-trial motions, docket calls, and finally to trial. My client is a nice lady, and she never should have been charged with any crime. This case took nearly 3 years to get to trial. I'm going to let our client tell you about it from her point of view. But first, let me set the scene for you. In Port St. Lucie, there is an east-west thoroughfare called Crosstown Parkway. Crosstown Parkway is a 6-lane divided highway, 3 lanes going east, 3 lanes going west. The action in this case took place just west of the interchange with Interstate 95. On the outside of the driving lanes on both sides of this parkway are paved sidewalks. In the middle of the 6 lanes is a wide, curbed grass median with palm trees and oak trees and lots of green grass. West of the incident we're going to talk about, maybe 150, 200 yards west, is an intersection with a traffic signal and four painted crosswalks. So if you're going north, south, east, or west at that intersection on foot, you can safely cross at the intersection. One night, about a week before Christmas, at about 9:45 in the evening, a man is walking westbound in the median. Well, that's not exactly right. He wasn't walking westbound, but he was facing westbound. He was west of all of the oak trees, and in front of him was just green grass. He was facing in the direction of the traffic signal and the painted crosswalks. Our client, our nice lady, was driving eastbound in the far left or inside lane, the lane closest to the median. This man in his late 50s, probably homeless, apparently suicidal, definitely very drunk, stepped off the median with his left foot right into the path of her car. She never saw him, didn't know she'd hit him. She knew that something had hit her windshield because there was a spiderweb-like crack in the lower left corner of the windshield that continued to spread. She immediately called her ex-husband and told him what happened, that something hit the windshield. His response was, "Well, it's probably a rock. Can you see to drive?" She said yes, and he said, "Okay, drive home, and I'll stay on the phone with you all the way home." She turned left on I-95, drove 2 or 3 miles on this interstate highway where the posted speed is 70 miles an hour, took the next exit, and drove into her neighborhood. All in all, it took her about 20 minutes to get home. Her ex-husband told her when she got home, maybe it was a rock or a branch or something. Take a look at the damage and call Geico in the morning. That's exactly what she did. When she got home, she parked the car in her driveway, not her garage, out where God and everybody could see it. She went in and went to bed. The next morning, she came out, looked at the car, and saw the damage. There was damage to the front left headlight. There was a large dent on the hood of the car on the left side, and her driver's side mirror was broken. She did exactly as her ex-husband suggested, and she called Geico and said, "I don't know what hit my windshield." The insurance agent told her, "We get these claims all the time. It might have been a rock or a branch. We haven't even had cases where pieces of debris fall from airplanes. Don't worry about it. Here's how to file your claim. We'll take care of it." So she did that. Later that night, she went to her office Christmas party. And while she was at the party, one of her friends called her and she told the friend about the incident the night before with the crack in her windshield. Her friend said, "I'm sure this wasn't you, but I saw in the news that there was a hit and run on Crosstown Parkway last night." Our client immediately got off the phone, left the party, and called her ex husband again. He agreed to meet her at the Port St. Lucie Police Department, where they stood outside and waited for the better part of 2 hours for a detective to show up. The detective finally came in, took her into a back interview room, read her rights, and proceeded to interview her for about 45 minutes. At the end of the interview, he didn't charge her and he let her go on her way. I met her about 2 to 3 days later. About 6 months later, she was charged with the serious felony crime of leaving the scene of an accident involving death. A serious felony charge, as I said, which um, meant that she was facing up to 30 years in prison and a mandatory minimum sentence of 4 years in prison if she were to be convicted. This is her story in her own words.
What happened that night, December 17th, 2021. I was at the food trucks in Tradition with my children and my ex-husband. I wasn't even supposed to go out that night, but my ex-husband was like, let's take the kids, yada yada. So we wound up doing that. We were there for about 2.5 hours. After dinner, after we ate dinner, we all went separate ways. My kids stayed with my ex-husband that night, so they went, and then I decided to go home, of course. So I got in my car, and instead of taking Gatlin, which hindsight's 2020, right? So instead of taking Gatlin, I turned on the Village Parkway heading towards Crosstown instead. So normal night, get on Crosstown, and I'm in the left lane by the median because of course I have to take 95 one exit up to where I live in St. Lucie West. So I was driving, and literally out of nowhere, my windshield made a sound like it did that, and it shattered on my side, like further down, but that's all. There was no impact to my car. My airbags never deployed. There was no boom. It wasn't like if you were in an accident that you're in an accident. So my first response, because of course I didn't see anything, it's dark, I called my ex-husband immediately because I just left him, and I was actually pretty upset. Not upset like sad, like actually pissed. I had the car for less than a month old. It was brand new. So I was really pissed, said a few choice words like, "You'll never believe what the F just happened," like something just shattered my windshield kind of thing. And my ex-husband was like, "You're 5 minutes from home, go home. That's why we have insurance, call Geico, file a claim." And I'm pissed, like just pissed. So I'm on the phone with him, because it's 5 minutes to my house. Pull in my driveway, I get out of the car, and as soon as I get out of the car, I see like damage to the side, I guess, panel of like the driver's side onto the hood on the driver's side, not in the front of the car, but like down by where the shattered would be, like on that. So I said to my ex-husband, what the F? And he's like, "What?" I'm like, "There's damage to the side of my car." And he's like, "What are you talking about?" And I took a picture of it right then when I'm on the phone with him and sent it to him. And he's like, "That's crazy." He goes, "Just call Geico. Maybe it was a tree branch. I thought maybe it was a rock that would have done your windshield. But now that that's there, maybe it was a tree branch or something. Call Geico." And I'm like, what the heck? Mind you, my car is white. Okay? No blood on my car, no hair, no nothing that could say maybe it was an animal, anything like that. So go inside. I realize at that point it's too late. I'm not going to call Geico. I'll call Geico first thing in the morning. But I did call my girlfriends that night to tell them, because I have like the worst luck. Like, you're never gonna believe what happened to me tonight. My luck, something shattered my windshield on my car. I have damage to the side of my car. And they're like, you're kidding, kind of thing. Only you, Kirsten, right? So tell my girlfriends. So that morning, I woke up, I called my girlfriend Lori very, very early in the morning and told her about what happened the night before, basically, because it's like a running joke that I have the worst luck. So it was like, you're never going to believe what happened to me last night. And I told her, the events driving on crosstown and something, hit my windshield and, shattered my windshield on the side of the driver's side lower. And how when I got home, I saw damage on the side of the car and we were trying to figure out what could have done something like that. And so went through that kind of can't believe that that's your luck, but I'll see you at the gym, in like 2 hours. So I called Geico after I waited because I talked to my girlfriend Lori very, very early, probably like 6 o'clock in the morning. So I waited and then I called Geico probably around like 7:30 in the morning and went through what happened that night, what transpired, and basically told them I have no idea what happened to my vehicle. That my ex-husband thought, it could have been a rock. But then when I got out of my vehicle, when I got home and I saw the side of my vehicle onto the side of the hood on my side, that maybe, my ex-husband thought it could have been like a branch, because I was on the median side where there were trees. Um, and the lady at Geico that I was talking to said that they see this all the time. This happens all the time. And that they've actually had things fall off from airplanes that fall on vehicles and people cannot explain what happened to their vehicle, which I thought was crazy because I've never heard anything like that. But I guess when you're in car insurance, they hear a lot of stuff. So I basically was more shocked speaking to her saying, I really can't tell you what happened to my vehicle, but I need to get it fixed. And they assured me they were great. This stuff happens all the time. She pulled up from my area where I would take my car on Sunday. This was Saturday morning, where I would drop off my car on Sunday to one of their, I guess, contracted auto places to bring your vehicle, and they would have a rental car there for me. And it was in Stewart somewhere, to bring it the next day, which would have been Sunday. So that was that, and I left, went to walk down the street to my girlfriend Jamie's house, who's married to her husband, my friend Owen, as well. And Owen actually is an attorney, and we were talking about it. I was telling him how, I was on the phone with Geico. This is what happened. I was showing him pictures of my car, and same thing. I can't believe your luck, kind of thing, yada, yada. That's crazy. Um, Went to the gym, my car, of course, was parked in my driveway for 24 hours, broad daylight, not hiding anything. Um, went to the gym, came home, and I probably did like household stuff and laundry before that night. I had my company Christmas party that night. So I went to my company Christmas party, not in my vehicle. I used Jamie's car that night to go to my company Christmas party. My girlfriend Elena came over to my house, who I work with at the time, came over to my house and drove with me. Got to the company Christmas party, and like I said before, I told my girlfriends Lori and I told my girlfriend Jamie about what happened the night before. So when I was at my company Christmas party, my girlfriend Jamie and Lori were texting me, basically asking me questions again about the night before, like, what time were you on that road again? And, what time did you get home? And I thought it was odd questions just because I just spoke to them about it that morning, like first thing in the morning. And I was like, why are they asking me? I already told them. So I texted them back. I told you I was on the road and I want to say it was like 9:39 something. And so something inside of me when they were asking those questions just didn't sit right with me. So I excused myself from the Christmas party and I went outside and I called my girlfriend Lori, and I was just like, I called Jamie first. I called Jamie and I was like, you just asked me these questions, you asking me these questions right now, what's going on? I told you this morning. And she said, well, she goes, I don't want to freak you out. She goes, I know it wasn't your car. She said, but Lori and I just saw on the news that there was a hit and run on Crosstown last night, but it was a half an hour after you were on Crosstown. So I was like, what? And she was like, we know it wasn't you. We just wanted to know that's why I was asking you again, what time you were on Crosstown. So I was like, I'm leaving my company Christmas party right now. I'm going to the police station. And, my girlfriend's like, oh, whoa, don't do that. Like, why would you go to the police station? And I was like, because I was on that road, a half an hour prior. I have damage to my car I can't explain. So I need to know if that was my vehicle. Um, so I went to my coworker, Elena, who drove with me to the Christmas party, and I just said to her, I have a family emergency. I said, I have to leave right now. I said, either you can drive with me or you can get a ride home. And she was like, what's going on? And I just said, I have a family emergency. I have to go. So she said, all right, I'll get a ride home. So I got in the car and that's when I called my girlfriend Lori and I was like, Jamie just told me I'm on my way. I'm going to go pick up Jason. I'm going to go to my ex-husband's house. I'm going to pick him up and I'm going straight to the police station. And she said the same thing as Jamie, like, why are you going to the police station? And they're like, we know it's not your car. We just wanted, that's why we were asking what time, just to let you know there was like a hit and run after you were on that road. And again, I was like, well, because I have damage to my vehicle and I need to know if that was my car. I can't explain. I never saw a tree or a rock or anything fall out of a plane that, Geico could say it could have been, and I sure the heck didn't see a person or an animal, but I have damage to my car. I need to go there and make sure that was not me. So, I asked my girlfriend Lori at that time because I had no idea. I couldn't tell you if it was a male, female, none of that. Because again, I never saw anybody. So I said to Lori, do we know the status? Is this person okay? And Lori just said to me, no, they did not make it. And I was like, oh my gosh, So get to my ex-husband's house. It was probably like took me 25 minutes maybe to get to Jason's house. Um, Said to Jason, let's go, come with me. We're gonna go to the St. Lucie Police Department. And him as well. Are you sure you want to, why would we go to the police station? And I was like, because again, explain to him, because like, I need to know if that was my vehicle. All right, fine. Gets in the car, we're driving there. I call Owen, my girlfriend Jamie's husband, who, like I said, is an attorney. And I told him that we're going to the police station. At that point, he knew, of course, because his wife told him. And he was like, Kirsten, I really don't advise that. First of all, I don't believe that was your car, but I do not advise you going to a police station without an attorney. Like, you should not be doing that. And I was like, I have nothing to hide. Like, I don't need an attorney. I have nothing to hide. Like, I need to go to the police station. So that's exactly what transpired that after that night. That was my Saturday.
So what brought you to the police?
I was at my company Christmas dinner, and a few of my friends who knew about what happened last night because I told them, because I called Geico first thing in the morning, like, I don't know what happened to my car. Something hit my windshield, and
So they called me tonight, and they were like,
This is Geico or friend?
no, I called Geico first in the morning, then I called my friends
Okay.
last night to tell them what happened. And then tonight when I was at my Christmas company dinner, two of my friends that I told called me and they're like, were you on Crosstown? And asking me questions, and I'm like, why? What's going on? I was like, yeah. I was on Crosstown. And they're like, because you had a freak accident, of what happened to your windshield last night, and this is what. I don't watch the news.
Yeah.
So they're like, this is what is out there, and I was like, you have to be kidding me. Like, my stomach got sick instantly. And they're like, Kirsten, you would know. Like, you would never leave somebody. I was like, nobody's in the road. Like, I would have never, ever. I mean, I stopped in the middle of the road to take turtles out of the road. Like, I would never hit somebody and leave them.
Yeah.
So I called my ex-husband, and I was like, I'm on my way. We have to go to the police station. And he was like, what's going on? So I said to him, I talked to Jamie. He was like, Jamie called me because I was with Jason last night, my ex-husband, we took the kids to dinner. So I was like, we have to go. That's why I'm dressed like this. I was like, we have to go straight to the police station because I need to know if it's my vehicle that was involved in this, because, like, I would never, like I said, I would never hit somebody and leave them. So that's why I'm here, to see if it is in fact my vehicle that was involved in this, because I feel sick.
Do you know about what time you left?
I left, well, when the thing happened to my windshield, I called my ex-husband like at 9:34 or 9:30 something when it happened. So I must have left at maybe 9:20 something. If you think it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was on Crosstown.
Well, from leaving the sake place, or the Thai place, right?
Thai place, yeah. But they have sushi there.
Yeah, that's good food.
Yeah.
When you left there, like, which way did you go?
I parked over by Meeting Street area, and then I came out by that parking where Publix is.
Behind the Publix there?
Behind the Publix, where Panera is.
Yeah.
Came to the light, made the left. Instead of, like I said, going Gatlin, I just go crosstown to 95 because I live in St. Lucie West.
Okay.
So I made the left, got to Crosstown, there's a stop sign at Crosstown,
Well, when you're coming out of the plaza, like you said, you went to Village.
Mm-hmm.
How did you get back to Crosstown? You did a U-turn?
No. When you come out where the Publix is, right by Panera, you make a left.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I'm thinking you pulled out behind, okay.
You make a left,
Yeah.
and then you take that down to Crosstown.
Okay.
So I took that to Crosstown, made a stop, made a left, a right, because you take a left. And then right after the Circle K on my left, right. On my right, I think it's the Circle, I think it's called Circle K.
Yeah, it's near the Circle K.
Right after the Circle K, like, my windshield, like, literally, like shattered almost, like, it came, like, almost in, but not, like, open, you know what I mean, and shattered, and, like, I had shards of glass. I mean, I was like, what the heck? Like, there was nothing. Like, I saw nothing at all. So I called my ex-husband, and I was like, you're never going to believe this. Like, my windshield is, like, just totally shattered. Like, something hit my windshield. He's like, did you hit a rock? I'm like, Jason, I don't know. I was like, there was nothing in the road that I saw. I was like, but my whole windshield is messed up. He's like, what about your car? And I was like, my car's fine, because my car, everything was fine. So I was like, it's fine. So I stayed on the phone with him the whole way until I got home. So I turned on to 95 off of Crosstown, which is left, got off on St. Lucie West, turned left on Peacock, and went home. when I got out of the car with him, I was like, oh my gosh, Jason, my driver's side of my car has a dent in it on the side and into the hood of my car. And he's like, what the heck? And I'm like, I have no idea. I was like, I didn't see anything, like nothing. So he's like, you got to call your insurance company in the morning, blah, blah, blah. The whole night, this morning I told him, like, I couldn't sleep. Like, it kept bothering me. Like, what the heck? What the heck did this to my car? What the heck did this to my car? Even when I called Geico this morning, I was like, I don't know what could have done this to my car. I don't know if it was a tree branch. I don't know what. And the lady's like, we have this happen all the time. She goes, stuff actually falls from planes and this and that. And I was like, so this is common? And the Geico claim lady, she's like, yeah. She goes, we get calls like this all the time. I'm like, yeah, because I'm like racking my brain on what could have happened to my car. So that was it. I was home all day. Took a shower to go to my Christmas party. My girlfriend Elena, that works with me, came to the house, left her car there. We drove together so we can go together instead of separate because she was in Fort Pierce. So we went, and that's when, like I said, because I told my two girlfriends this morning what transpired last night, and like I said, I don't watch the news. So when they called me and they're like, Kirsten, like, we don't think so because, like, you would never do that, but we just want you to know this is what happened and you had an incident with your car. And I was like, I felt like ill, and I called Jason. I was like, we got to go to the police station because I need to know if that was my car and if I was involved in that, because I would never, ever leave somebody, ever.
So after this happened, did you stop?
No, because I didn't see anything. I saw nothing. Like, if I saw something, I would have stopped. I didn't stop. I didn't even think to stop. Like, I just called Jason, and I was like, my windshield just shattered.
And do you remember what lane you were in?
I think it was on the left. It was either left or the middle because, like, I had to eventually make a left.
Yeah. You know about how fast you were going?
Probably like 40, 45. Because the speed limit on that road, so probably either like 40, 45 miles an hour.
And I think you said something about, you thought it might have been a rock in your statement?
Yeah, because I didn't know. Because when I was talking to my ex-husband, he said that something like, did the rock, come up from the road and hit your windshield? I was like, Jason, I don't know, but like my windshield shattered on my side.
And with all that, the damage to your car,
I did not see the damage to my car.
Until you got home?
Right.
Okay. Well, do you think that the rock would have done that to your windshield?
I didn't think it was a rock. I didn't know what it was that hit my windshield.
Okay.
I didn't see anything. That was the whole thing. I didn't see anything.
Have you ever been involved in like an accident before?
Been involved in an accident before.
And,
yeah.
Like anything like damaged that to the extent that yours has now? Or
no.
Nothing? Okay.
No. This is like I said, I mean, aside, I've never had like my windshield, like I've never had something like that happen, whereas I didn't see anything. Like I said, I would never, I know you don't know me from Adam, but I would never hit somebody and keep driving and call my insurance company the next morning and put a claim on my car and call my friends and tell them what happened to me.
Yeah.
If I hit somebody. Never. And I'm coming here because I was just told before, hours ago now, and I came here because God forbid if that was my car, I want to know, because I literally feel sick if that was my car involved in that.
And you said that you were with your family, but you were the only one in the car. You were just saying you were with your family.
Yeah, so you meant that my husband has them like every other weekend, but now that he's moved up to Port St. Lucie, he's off of Becker, they stay the weekend all the time with him now, which is great. So we took them to dinner, and he took them home. Well, Jake went home with his girlfriend, but Delaney, my daughter, went home with him.
During the course of the day or at dinner, did you have anything to drink?
I had one drink at 7:30.
Okay. And that was what?
It was pineapple and rum or pineapple and tequila.
Do you know how much? Just one drink?
One.
Next drink?
No, it was
how big?
Like that.
Okay.
Glass. It's a plastic glass.
Okay. So that's all you had all day, and you ate food?
Of course.
Correct? Okay. Do you take any prescription medications or anything?
I don't take no meds, no.
No medical problems?
Only, no medical problems. Not that I know of. The only meds I take is ibuprofen.
Okay.
For a headache.
So when you got home, you said you were still on the phone with your ex-husband, right?
Yes.
And what did your ex-husband told you to do? What?
To relax, because I was like freaking out about how this could have happened to my car and what could have done this to my car. And he said, "We'll figure it out." He said, "Don't worry about it. You're just going to have to call your insurance company in the morning, let them know what transpired, and we'll go from there."
Okay. And your car was, you have a driveway, garage, or?
What?
Was it just in the driveway or the
I pulled
garage?
it into the driveway.
Okay.
Because I planned on calling AAA tomorrow to bring it to get fixed. Where Geico's telling me to bring it. I mean, I'm not hiding my car. I'm not hiding it.
No, I wasn't saying that. I was just curious as to, what was going through your head at the time. And
That's what was going through my head. Literally, like, what did this to my car? And sure, like, freaking out, like, what could have done this to my car?
what do you think it could have possibly been that you hit?
Honestly, I don't know, but what's transpired and what was on the news is why I'm here.
Yeah.
Because if God forbid it was a person, I want to know. Like, that's awful. Like, I'm telling you, if it was this person, I never saw anybody in the street. I never saw one person. I mean, if I saw somebody, not only would I slam on my brakes, I would have swerved to avoid them.
Yeah, most people would. But what I was more asking was, with the extent of the damage, like, you've lived in Florida for a long time?
Mm-hmm.
Like, being in Florida, knowing the area, like, what do you think you could have hit that would
I
have
don't
done
know.
that?
That's why I kept saying to my ex-husband, I don't know. That's why I was so frazzled by all of it. I didn't know. I thought it was just my windshield at that point. I did not know what my car looked like till I pulled in the driveway, still on the phone with him, saying, oh my gosh, there is damage to the side of my car and the side on the hood.
I mean, after seeing all that after the fact, did you think that maybe you...
I didn't know what I had. I didn't know. I couldn't. There's nothing I could tell you. I don't know what. That was the whole point of what the frick just happened. What did I hit? What could have done that? I had no idea.
have you already had any issues with the car, or what year is it?
No, 2017 or 16.
You bought it new? Or
No, I bought it used.
used? No issues with it? Any mechanical problems?
Not that I know of. No, I haven't had any issues with it.
Okay.
But, I mean, I gave my statement. I wanted you guys to, like, I don't know. That's why I'm here. But I also, I've never done this before. And, if you're going to keep asking me over questions that I'm trying to answer to you because I'm here, because I want to know what transpired, then I think maybe then I should have legal, because I don't know. This has never happened to me before, and I'm like physically like shaken over it.
Okay. Well,
Like I said, I would not leave a Christmas party and come straight here after hearing what happened if, in fact, I thought I hit somebody.
well, I wasn't saying that. I was just trying to see. I'm not going to keep asking it like you said, but that's all I was trying to get at.
Well, I'm just trying to tell you that if I knew what did that to my car, that would be one. I had no idea, and that's why I was so shaken up over it last night on the phone with my ex-husband.
Right, and like you said, you did a claim and everything with
Yes.
Geico already.
Yes,
Okay.
first thing this morning.
All right. But just to clarify a few things, when you came, or when you were at dinner, you only had that one drink, right?
Yeah, I'm wondering.
And it was, you said, a small plastic cup with, what'd you say it was?
Pineapple and tequila.
And tequila. Okay.
My ex-husband ordered me another one, but I didn't drink it.
Okay. You felt fine? You didn't feel like you were impaired, or
Nothing.
is that a normal amount of alcohol for you to drink? Or
That's, if I'm out, I drink one drink.
And you said you had food with it too.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. But I drank that prior to, that was an hour prior to dinner.
Okay. And the route, you said that you went home, that was 100, you're 100% positive that's the exact way that you went. Okay. And
Yes.
after you got home and, seeing the damage and everything, seeing that, there was such significant damage,
Mm-hmm.
did you think that you could have possibly hit anything else? I mean, besides this rock?
I didn't think I hit a rock.
Or you said that you thought a rock went into your windshield.
Well, because when I was on the phone with my ex-husband, he was like, did a rock come into your windshield? I didn't know what it was.
Okay.
I didn't know what it was. I didn't see anything in the road. I sure as hell, if I would have seen somebody in the road, and God forbid I would...
We're not just saying somebody, we're just saying anything. Just say...
I don't know. Sir, I wish I could tell you. Because that is what shook me up all night, last night, talking to my ex-husband, getting out of the car and seeing the damage, going even this morning, are you okay? He's asking me, are you okay? I'm like, I'm sick over it. What did that to my car? I never left the road. So when I called Geico and explained to them the same thing, like, I don't know, like, and she was like, this happens, this has happened. And I'm like, are you kidding? Like, you're making me feel better because I can't explain what happened. She goes, tree branches come down on cars all the time. People don't know and see limbs that come down. She says, they've had stuff that falls out of aircrafts that have landed on cars. People don't realize.
Yeah.
She said, so I was like, okay, at least thank you, God. Maybe it was some freak thing like that. Because I have no idea. I wish I could tell you.
Were you able to see when you were driving?
Yes.
Okay. That's like a pretty big, like,
Yeah, I could
crack
see.
there.
I could see. I would never drive it home if I couldn't see.
But again, you didn't stop going about. You said 40. The speed limit was 40. You said you're
40,
going about
45, I don't remember, but like 40, 45. I mean, I wasn't speeding,
No, it's not.
so I
That
don't...
road. Okay. All right.
As I said earlier, I met her a couple of days later. At that point, she had not been charged with anything. We'll continue her story in our next episode as she waited to hear anything from the Port St. Lucie Police Department, was finally charged, and we began preparing for the long road to defending her in court. Thanks for joining us on the Kessler Law Firm podcast. Whether you're watching this on YouTube or listening to it on your favorite podcasting site, please click subscribe or follow so next time you come back, our latest podcasts will be ready and waiting for you. If you'd like to connect and find out more about us, visit our website at www.kesslerlawfirm.com.